and a 3, and a 2, and a 1.
RuPaul Drag Race.
Hey, kitty girls, it's Sunday, January 10th, 2021. Welcome to Comes Out Loud Drag Race, Season 13, Episode number 2. Condragulations.
Condragulations, you're number 2. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Well, technically in the song they all say you're number 1, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Are we subliminally referencing water sports? Who knows? So, for those of you that have not tuned into us before and don't know, my name's Gary, and with me is my ever fabulous co-host.
Hello, everyone. It is Damon. Welcome to the show.
So
let's get it.
Yes, we got a bunch to talk about. We'll see how long it takes us to roll through all the thoughts and feelings. So let's get into that very first section.
Gentlemen, start your engines, and may the best woman win.
All right, put the pedal to the metal. Overall thoughts on the episode. David, I think you and I are on the same page because I see your notes. What are your thoughts?
Yes. So I'm like, oh, y'all wanted a twist day. That is my thoughts on this episode. You want a twist? We're gonna give you twist. Is kind of what RuPaul and the production company said this season. They're like, guess what, honey? So you think you know what's about to happen? Oh, you have no idea what's about to happen. So I was again a little I will own, I went through this weird gamut, similar probably to the Queens. So in the beginning, when we get to the pork chop loading dock and they kind of have to vote someone off and they eventually vote someone off. Do we have spoiler?
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let's do this part here.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything else.
Right. If you haven't seen the episode yet, for some reason, you're going to be spoiled. So that's just all there is to it.
So here we go. And I'm getting right off the gate. So when they eventually vote out Elliot with 2 T's in the I felt kind of probably how she felt. She was probably crushed. She doesn't get a chance to do anything else for the show. So here we are, she's, hugging the girls and she gets to walk off and then they walk off and then we bring back in the winners in the workroom for, I'm assuming, the next day, probably, who knows, I don't even know. And they're getting ready and Rue comes in and then, surprise, bitches! Here comes Elliot. Not only did she not go home, back to the hotel, but bitch is in the competition with the winners. And they know that somebody sent her home. I mean, Tina sent her home. So it's, whatever. So it's this, I'm surprised and shooketh again, that this has happened. And throughout the rest of the episode, I'm very much there's a familiar formula to this because it's very similar to what happened last season where they brought in the 2 groups and then no one went home, but we did a lip sync for the win kind of thing. And that was kind of cool. We like that and we got that. And I'm very happy with that part of it. We got 2 runways. We got that. And yeah. So there's the hat. But again, I'm still up in the twist. What the hell's happening next? How about you?
I said, predictable formula, you say, we'll see about that. Now, we will own our criticism. I think it's been probably 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons of COLDR that we have kind of said, oh, here we go, blah, 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 blah. Like, mini challenge, maxi challenge, yada, yada. Like, and we just were like, can we try something else? Can we do something different? Like, come on. Pick it up, World of Wonder. Like, you're the goddamn production company. Like, get your shit together. Like, let's spice it up a little bit. Oh, okay. So, yeah, right out the gate. Okay. Last week was 6 lip syncs, right? And it's like boom, 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 boom. So, 6 queens win, 7 queens lose. Got it. And then, like, we're trying to figure out what's going to happen with the 7. So I agree with you. Like, what they did with the voting and stuff is good. So I'm going to have a confessional moment myself. In our Telegram chat, I went off. I saw the preview of what's going to happen in this episode, and I lost my shit. Because I can't do math. So, no, girl, because it's true, because there's 7 girls, and they all get up and they vote, and they only show, like, 2, I think. And then, like, they wait, and, obviously a production person, takes the has been tallying the whole time as to who the lipsticks were. And then, the pink speaker, supposedly, Mama Rue says, there's a tie. I wanted so badly to say in the Telegram chat, but I didn't want to give it away. I wanted to use the Noxema Jackson gif from Tu Wong Fu, where she's like, tie? What you talking about, tie?
What do you mean, tie?
Because I was like, wait, do you know, like, I mean, I obsessed about this. And when the episode aired, like, I rewound and watched the first 5 minutes twice. Like, I was trying to figure out the math, because I was like, 13 queens, season 13. 6 win, 7 don't. You don't get a tie with 7. 4 and 3 makes 7. Like, I could not for the life of me figure out how they did the 7. And then the graphic they put up of the queens, there was only 5 of the 7 showing. So that messed me up, because I just couldn't understand, like, where the hell this is coming from. And then finally it occurred to me, 3, 3, 1, that makes 7, and that gives you a tie. 2, 2, and 2, and 1 gives you like a 3-way tie with someone. And I was like, oh. Yeah, could not do math. So, yes, you're right. So anyways, they all have to do the lipstick thing, and then they do it a second time, and they announce that it's between Utica, Queen, and Elliot with 2 T's.
Yeah, the first time. First time they all vote.
And I am going to say this right now because it's been bugging the shit out of me. Bunch of shady queens. Not a single motherfucker told Utica about her actual hairline showing. Drove me the fuck crazy that when they're in the back in the loading dock, that her boy hairline, her brown hair was showing with the green wig the entire time. Like, not when she first went back there, but at some point, either her hair got pulled back. I don't know if she took her hair off for a moment because she was getting hot or what it was. But, like, and I was so irritated. I was like, what is going on? I was like, oh, you shady cunts. Seriously. Like, I get it's a competition, but not a single one of you is going to be like, girl, like, like, go look in a mirror or something. Find a reflective surface. So, yeah. So...
Used in Ollie's ice skate.
The predictable formula is gone, right? So everybody's got to vote. And then, yes, Elliot's very, like, confused and kind of bewildered and has to leave. Now, if you pay attention, though, the clues were there the entire time. Because it's called the pork chop loading dock, and she gets the chop. She's not told to sashay away to go home. Like there's just kind of some very subtle things. Like, you have to pay attention really to the details. So she leaves, and I noticed that, like, there was a handler from the production staff right there at the doorway on the other side, dressed in black, as soon as she walked through to leave. And I was like, I mean, granted, there should be somebody there, but the fact that they were in shot was either a mistake or intentional, like that they wanted to like snatch her as soon as she walked through to like move her over to confessional moment where she talks about her feelings.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, get her to the van, whisk her back to the hotel or whatever. You know, and I don't know how long they like kept her in lockdown on ice until they revealed that she's actually coming back. Because when Rue comes into the workroom and it's the 6 of them and she talks about how there's a queen that she thinks didn't get a fair shake and that she needs another chance, and then it turns out to be Elliot, and you know all 6 of them are not having it.
Oh, sure.
Because they're like, here's the stunt. Like, someone like got another queen. Only, no, it's not another queen. It's a queen that's already been.
Yes.
So
I don't even, and that's so much stuff going on. Like, yes.
So those were twists. And since we're talking about the overall show, I want to jump ahead to the bottom 2, top 2. So I watched, as I've been trying to do the last, I don't know how many seasons, I watched the regular show. And when I get right to the moment when they have to leave the stage, and it's the judges talking, I wait till the judges are done, and then I instantly exit, and I go to Untucked, and then I watch Untucked right until they walk to leave. And the computer graphics in Untucked say that all the queens go back to find out who's leaving the competition. I think it says leaving the competition or who's going home.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the regular episode, like it's in real time, and then I watch what happens. So I did not see coming the actual other twist because there was the slightest giveaway that Candy Muse and Gottmik were not the only ones in contention for like the bottom, or something was going on, because Olivia Lux has earbuds in at one point in Untucked right before they go back, and she's practicing lip sync. And I thought, well, I didn't think Olivia did that bad. Why would she be, you know,
practicing?
Right. Why would she be practicing? So I don't know if she was just doing it out of nervousness. If she felt that she got just a minor critique on the runway that she thought maybe she should, you know, just be a little prepared. Maybe she's always prepared. I don't know.
It could be she's always prepared.
So sure enough, they go back to the stage and, you know, Rue announces who the top 2 are. And then she says, and everybody's safe.
Yep.
And Candy Muse and Gottmik, I thought were going to fucking break down on stage. Because they were so worked up. They had a very emotional backstage Untucked.
Yeah.
You know, Candy, girl, claps to you for being a queen who understood how to wear makeup that doesn't run when you cry.
That.
Like, I didn't even realize she was crying at first. Because the queens are like, girl, what's going on? Like, no, don't cry. And I was like, she's not crying. And then I look and I'm like, oh, holy shit, she's crying. But like, it's just running off her face. like it's not, you know, her makeup isn't running or anything. So, you know, and she's in the feels
that
about
beat is set.
Well, right. And she's in the feels about how she fucked up the choreography, which she's not wrong to be upset because she did screw it up. And there was already a tease in the editing because they have a whole discussion about, like, even if you make a mistake, it's choreo and it's character, and they'll never know the difference if you deliver it. So that was some shady editing on purpose, because then she turns around and screws up and it's quite obvious and she looks, you know, a little uncomfortable. And
flabbergasted at the camera. I'm just like, when it's that noticeable, I'm like, oh, that's never good, because she literally kind of like stopped. She practically stopped.
Right. It looked like it was more dress rehearsal. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna say this, because we're not gonna break down the whole episode. However, girl, that performance as a group. Yeah.
Let's just say.
Yeah.
Let's just say
it was
so
not a good
great
group
that they were
performance.
all safe.
Yeah.
And no one was critiqued on their performance like fully to like get like bottoms. Because
I felt that there was a couple of them that didn't do that well. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Now, I will say this. Usually the group musical numbers come later in the season, I think.
Well, this is kind of like what they did with like last season. I keep comparing this to the first 2 episodes of last season where they each had to do like bitch, like a bad bitch or whatever. I'm a bad bitch and the other song. I can't remember now because I didn't really care for it. Where they had these numbers that they performed and then introduced themselves. They kind of like did the song lyric kind of thing where they gave an opportunity to introduce themselves. That's kind of what I'm comparing it to. So it's familiar, like doing kind of the musical or doing the performance kind of thing, group performance thing. But it is weird, mostly because we didn't see any, like, we never saw any recording of the tracks. Like, we knew that much. So they obviously did that like really quickly. And then we had them doing the choreography, and that was something. And now they're performing it, and I needed something better, like overall. Like, again, I keep saying this now, but like, this is season 13. Like, and we've talked about, like, just last season, and I hate comparing it to last season, but like, just last season, they were talking about, we can't just do point and stand and shit. Like, we can't do that because that's like awful. That's lame. That's been overdone. They needed to do something else, but girls, they didn't want to do fucking anything else, and this is what we got, and it was, yeah.
So, I thought the whole performance was a little lackluster.
Yes. Same.
I mean, there were a couple of standouts, notably, but
yeah,
overall, I was like, this musical number, not so good, girls.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yes.
Like, luckily, they were all safe.
Yeah. Thank heavens for safety.
Okay. You ready to move on to the next segment?
Sure thing.
All right.
Cover down. Put the bass in your walk. Cover down.
All right. Stomp the runway. Theme is La May You Stay. So I was like, did we actually do a new theme for the runway for once?
I think so.
I don't ever remember them doing La May before.
I don't recall them doing LeMay either. I don't think. And I could be wrong.
Right.
And I'm trying to like scroll through my mental like lexicon of Drag Race over the years. I don't think they have.
Right. So that being the case, Damon, what are your thoughts on what was presented on the runway?
I wrote down some shiny and some like there were some very like nice, fun looks. I loved Got Mix, and kudos to her. She was the first one out, and bitch. like, like I'm gonna fuck everybody else's runway up by putting this out there. Like like that was epic, like runway. Epic.
As Latrice said in the pit stop, she made a reference to like, oh, that's what you brought. Like, I think Latrice's point was kind of like, bitch, if I had been in the workroom, I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are? Pulling a stunt with that shit like that. Because to be realistic, that is more second half towards the finale of the season, like kind of look. And the fact that it's the very first runway, actual runway, I was like, wow, like that's really set the caliber high. Hopefully the rest of it for Gottmik matches and rises. Yeah.
Because that was epic. Like I keep saying that word because that's how I feel. Lala Ree's was amazing. Olivia Lux's was cute. I like the kind of like throwback glamour kind of moment. It confused me just a little bit. It needs a little bit of tailoring in the top because it felt a little big on her. But I still thought it was cute. I liked her name just left my head. Simone. Good God. Wow. It just because it was so different.
Yes.
And that's kind of where I was like, oh, that's nice. That's so different, so unique. And kudos for her for kind of bringing that style out. The rest of them, okay. I was happy to, like, I hate this. Well, no, I don't hate to say it. I was happy, fucking happy to see Tina Burner in something other than orange, red, and yellow.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I kept going, like, because bitch, I was right there with you. She came out in that Tin Man style, and I will say this: I did not clock that the purse was the axe.
Oh no!
So the purse is axe blade shaped, and the handle, like the little wood strap. Like the wrist strap was brown for wood. Like, yeah. Like that got clocked by other people, and I was like, okay, girl. And then the reveal with the biker jacket, like,
and the heart. Yeah, I do
with the jeweled heart, and I was like,
yeah,
all right, girl. Yes. Like. Now I'm hoping for the rest of the season we get more of a blend.
Yes.
Like, or every other episode.
Or every other episode. I mean, we got... No, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm going to call it out. Like, we got from her... We got from your entrance look...
Right.
To the hell, even through the first number, like the opening, the song, like till then, we got shades of red, orange, and yellow.
Right.
So like, I hope that's all you brought.
That we got 4 on theme.
Yes. Like, let's get out of theme now. We know who you are, Tina.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is I'm hoping that more of her stuff to come. That's why I'm like, I'm cool with every other. So like, if you go back towards like the fiery kind of element colors and then you jump out of it and then you go back to it, like, I think people will be okay and kind of calm down. But yes, like if you brought, like 30 outfits and 20 of them are all the same color theme, unless they're really well designed, or you like, they're less intense. I think that's part of also the other issue that some of us are having, is like, they are really bold versions of her 3 colors.
Yes.
Like, I'm actually looking forward to if she has something really soft and really elegant that has a beautiful ombre between them. like
a flame dress of some kind that kind of like comes up to the color. Yeah, I could see that maybe being a thing.
right. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah. So you think some shiny, some meh.
Yeah.
I
What
think
about
that's
you?
fair. So I said this success across the board. I have to give toots to Gottmik and La Ree.
Mm-hmm.
Gottmik being the first one out the gate, my jaw hit the floor. And I was like, yes, queen. I was like, damn. Damn.
Like my biggest thing, one, it wasn't a normal color you think of when you think of LeMay. Mm-hmm. Like instead of like a gold or a silver, it was kind of a bronzy copper color. And that was like it for me. And then there was like this navy, like the cape was kind of navy on this. I was like, girl, like
she already was selling it walking the runway, and her voiceover description heightened it because she talks about how she loves sea dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And I love sea dragons and seahorses, like to see them in an aquarium, like to just look at them because they're so graceful and just beautiful to look at and exotic. Like there's not a lot out there in the animal kingdom that kind of looks like that. And the fact that she knew how to pace her walk down the runway and to make all of the fabric billow behind her. Yes. I was like, girl. Like, so, yes.
I loved it. Loved it.
And La Ree, girl, you look like a little foil, like wrapped confection, come walking out in that gold. Now, I do have one slight criticism. In some of the camera angles, her pants are not a good gold tone match to the like cape jacket. Like,
yeah, I don't think they're the same.
I don't think they are too, but it was weird because like anytime they got that 45-degree camera on her, I was like, ugh. But then when they kind of did like straight on, or I think the other way, it all looked like it was kind of the same gold family, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, did y'all not use a filter on that one camera? I don't understand what's going on. But I mean, you know, with her skin tone, and she just, man, she looked amazing. I agree. Yes. You know, with Trixie and Latrice on pit stop, like everybody was just like, oh, high whore drag.
Yes.
Big hair, face beat, showing off the body yachty, like. But not like being sexy gratuitous about it, you know.
Yeah. Just elegant.
Elegant and voluminous. And I was like, oh, so y'all want to talk about who you're underestimating?
Might be underestimating her. Mm-hmm.
I think they're underestimating La Ree because of how less, I guess, in comparison, her time has been in doing drag. And I think people are sleeping on Olivia Lux. I will admit, when Olivia came out, I was like, oh, boy, is she beautiful. And I agree, she has a winning smile. The bottom half of her outfit still kind of bugs me, and I'm not sure why. You were talking about how the top was like could have been tailored just a little bit more. The dress part of it, like from the hips down, there was something about the way the hips kind of popped out. Almost like they're peplums or something, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, I get that this is a throwback, a callback to vintage Hollywood, and it is very beautiful as an outfit, but I was just like, like I just couldn't. I said, I don't know if I'll ever know what it is about that part of the outfit that just kind of like bugged me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, her
I
hair was coiffed, her face was beat. She looked good too.
Yeah.
And we talked about Tina, you know, how she like turned it and went in a different direction. I can feel like I got to go look at all the names to remember who the hell's in this episode. Elliot, didn't hate it, but I do agree with some of the reviews online where they were like, well, she looks like, you know, she's an ice-capade, you know, like,
yeah,
like
it is very like, like 80s, 90s ice capade. It feels that way. It feels like that should be on Denali. What it feels like.
True. And I do want to give recognition to Candy. When she first walked out, I was like, "Oh, girl, look at what we got going on! Like bigger girl, like in a kind of negligee, naughty whatever." And then she went to open it, and I thought, "Oh, is this gonna go bad?" Like, it didn't go bad, but I wasn't blown away by it. And Latrice clocked the panty. She was like, "Girl, your panty cut was wrong. Like, looks like a diaper. Not good." It was okay.
Yes.
I mean, like, did it meet the request of what they were supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would have preferred it if she had kept the like, I don't know what it's called, but like the negligee, the front part like on, and just let it like as she turned, let us kind of subtly see what's on underneath, because it did not look good. Like, yeah, and I get that she's all body positive and whatever, but it didn't look like it fit well or something. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but like it doesn't work for me. So,
right. And I'm going to say this. So Candy, as a boy, when they're in the workroom, Candy has some hot ass legs. And I couldn't figure out if it's just because she's, a thicker guy and like I'm down with that, or if it's them black gym shorts that she's wearing that are cut, you know what I mean, on the side that like show a little more thigh than ever. Because like when she's kind of bouncing around in her like little Keds or sneakers or whatever, and them black shorts, I was like, oh, I'd be in trouble. Like if I was in the workroom, I'd be caught looking all the time. How you doing? So thank you. I'm serious. Like, I mean, and like, Tina, God bless her, but this is part of why I think I made the reference to Nina. They're kind of built the same. Broad shouldered, like they're very like triangular, like wide shoulder, smaller waisted, straight little legs, like and it's a shape and you really got to work with it. You really got to work against it. I heard something interesting for all you kittens out there that I thought was really profound, which was if you are, built more like a masculine type on the top, one of the things that you should really work at on your proportions is your hips should equal your shoulders and your hair should be almost just as close. So what you're doing then is you do create that hourglass illusion. Like you kind of like give the illusion of like a smaller waist, but birthing hips and like a wider chest. And then you don't quite look disproportionate if you have such a tiny little head. Like, so, but that's a lot to work with. Like you got to have big hair. Like you got to have a big head kind of like shape thing, to compensate for the fact that like, you have to turn sideways through doors. So,
excuse me.
And I will say I was amused and frightened at the same moment when Elliot in Untucked called Tina Nina.
Yeah, Nina. I love that. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and they even like they've cut it out of the episode, and shown it as another little like special video just because it's a moment. Because I like, is it because you've like just been here, like you haven't been here that long, and you just like mixed up the name, or was it a genuine like oops, mistake kind of moment?
Right. I think it was a genuine accident. Because the moment she said it, I was like, wait, did she just, I think, and of course the rest of the girls kind of clocked it. And even Tina, and I was like, And I'm like, I'm going to own it because even I made a reference to it in last week's episode. And now I saw that there was a tweet that Tina just put up and she's like, what do you think? Should we go on tour? Like the Nina and Tina, show or whatever. And I was like, sure, girl, like make it work. I think there's a couple of things that they have in sync. They both have a similar body type. They're both campy. Like, I don't know fully yet if Tina's really into musicals and Broadway as much as Nina is, but like, I realize that there's similarities, but you two are kind of looking a little like you're from the same family to me.
Yeah.
In this moment. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, there's that. You ready to move on?
Yes, let's.
Okay. All right. So next up is all right. Snaps and eye rolls, aka the hits and misses, the highs and the lows of the show. So, Ms. Damon, who are you giving snaps to?
I am giving my snaps to Olivia Lux shining through.
Okay.
I like her. Like, I don't know what it is about her, but I like her. And she is giving me, like, good vibes and good feelings. She's slaying the fuck out of this competition. Like, I know we're talking about Lala Ree, but she's another one that I think the girls need to keep an eye on. Because while she's young, she is polished. Was she one of the ones listed on your little trivia thing? Does she have a drag mother or drag something? I can't remember.
Hang on, I will go look.
Let's go look.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Okay. So good to know. I thought I remember seeing her name. But anyway.
Right.
So somebody has taught this girl well. She's not been doing drag a long time, but she knows how to move. She knows how to present. She's a singer. We saw that in the Condragulations, video. She can move. She can dance. She's funny when she needs to be funny. She's got this personality that's kind of bubbly and light, which works really well. And she's considerate. She reminds me a lot of, in some ways, we've been talking about her all episode, but Nina West in a lot of ways. Just that kind of kindness kind of factor going there. So again, I don't know who worked with her, but somebody did, or this is just like a genuine like plucked personality that is just coming through, because I am loving what I'm seeing and I can't wait to see what else she does. I want to see what else she can do.
I agree. Like she's really surprised me in how she presents herself. And she's listed as Brooklyn, New York, but if I recall correctly, in her confessionals or whatever, or even like talking to the girl, she revealed that if I'm not mistaken, she's the queen that moved out of this cast to New York from somewhere else. So she comes from someplace. Don't know who, don't know where. Not sure what the whole story is just yet. But yeah, definitely. I think she's kind of the dark horse of the bunch. Her and Lala Ree, I'm like, if they're smart, they'll kind of stay towards the middle top. Just kind of swim that way.
Very interesting. What about you, Gerber? What's your?
Okay, I got two. Because I really want one, but I cannot not talk about the other. So Simone's Daytime 2021 runway look.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, she comes out in that striped outfit with the half cape on the sleeve.
Yes.
I was like, who she thinks she is? Like, bitch, you know this is RuPaul's fashion, like, this is RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, this is not actually Fashion Week in New York. What the shit is this up at this gig? Like, I was really, really taken with that. Now, I will admit, for the first couple seconds, I was like, "Ooh, that hair, honey, I don't know." Like, it's kind of a messy, but it worked. Like, and it was definitely
3 hairstyles in one, as Latrice said.
Well, I think what was it? Trixie said, like, when you're not sure, you just put a hat on, like, you know, you just kind of like make a thing work. She really delivered on that, and I think it was probably my favorite of the runway bunch. Second would probably go to Elliot for the nighttime.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
She came out of that high horror drag, that black top hat with the plumes and like the riding crop and stuff.
And the big fucking sleeve. Like,
I was like oh, somebody came to slay. Like, if this was ballroom, girl, like, they would be losing their shit over just the look alone. The one thing that bothered me about Elliot doing that, though, is that you could tell she not a kinky girl. The way she holds the riding crop, the way she kind of, like, you know, does things with it, and then she makes a reference to being kinky or whatever, and I was like, no, girl. Like, you and I have discussed this before, Damon. We're like, if you ain't kinky, don't try to be kinky. Like,
no.
Like, you can dress a certain way, but you have to know your limit. Like, you just can't, you know.
Don't pick up an instrument if you don't know how to play it.
Fair. Very fair. My second snaps are for that lip sync.
Baby.
Latrice said it best on the pit stop. She gave me the words I was trying to think of, which is, it has been a long time coming since we have seen a lip sync to get excited about. I've watched it twice already. I'll probably watch it 2 more times because I rarely saw a misstep or a flaw. And Mother Latrice is so right. She said they each had their own style, like how they presented it. And I think Trixie pointed out that Simone did a Latrice, like, kind of like very internal, very like calm, like, you know, not really gonna, like, you know, make a big production out of it. And Simone did a great, like, kind of half comedic take of, like, the Olivia. Right, you know, kind of half comedic, half like theatrical acting, like, you know, like, she was both of them were definitively delivering characters that went with the song. And I will admit, I did not know this song. I think I may have heard it before.
You don't have Sling.
No, girl, I don't have any of those music streaming things.
No, it's not a music streaming thing. This is my like TV service. So this is how I watch RuPaul's Drag Race. So let me just like pinpoint just really quickly. So one of the channels I watched was a channel called Buzzer, which is like old time like game shows. I've mentioned it before on the regular show. Well, during the summer, like, the biggest thing that kept pimping out was Dua Lipa's like new album, which included this fucking song. So I've heard this song, like, I would hear it like 5 times, if not more, a day.
Okay.
Because it was just, they kept like playing it, and the song's okay. Don't get me wrong, it's a cute song, but when you hear it to death, it kind of I get drowned out. But I will admit, they gave me a good reason to listen to it. Like, that's something that says something to me. Like, they were so good with this number, like both of them in their own ways, that I wasn't like, I'm hearing the song again, kind of moment.
Right. Yeah, so this lip sync, now, Latrice and Trixie said something I thought was very revealing.
Oh.
So, Mother Rue drops the bomb and says, everybody's safe. You two that are not at the tops go to the back. And Gottmik's like, I can't run fast enough to get to the back of the stage. Because she's all up in her feels.
Yep.
And then Mother Rue says that you are going to lip sync for the win. And the winner gets $5,000. Come again? Come again? I'm sorry, what? $5,000. And I thought, bitch, if they keep doing this, and some queen is really goddamn lucky, they could take like half the prize. I don't think it's really going to happen like that.
No.
But that was a big deal. So Latrice and Trixie say there is a distinct difference between lip syncing because you're celebrating and lip syncing because you are shitting yourself because you're about to go home.
Yes. I remember hearing that in the pit stop because they were both very much like there was not a whole lot of tricks and stuff with this one. This was very much a performance, and that's what made it good.
Right.
This was not about saving, like this was not about saving yourself. This was about, like, yes, give us your best shot, but like you're not going home if you lose,
Right.
So maybe it's more authentic because we got that opportunity. Maybe not.
Right.
But I do appreciate the lip sync. I think it was very, so well done. And the thing I love the most, and I'm gonna say it right now, the thing I love the most was Olivia's wearing this very dolled up glamour puss thing, and the minute she starts performing the song, one earring falls off. Does it phase her? No, not one bit. She starts moving again, the other one comes off. Still unfazed. I was having it, and she even mentions it in her back the tutorial bitch confessional. How I don't care that my hair gets uncoiffed or whatever, because I feel like that's kind of what we needed. She needed to get into it, and she did.
I would agree. I didn't even notice about the earrings until the second viewing. I noticed there was something on the floor, and she's kind of moving around on her, quote unquote, her side of the stage kind of area. And I was like, what is that on the floor? It looked like a big spot. And I couldn't. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I think that's an earring. And I'm like, interesting. I never even noticed.
Yeah.
I will say that Simone is kind of the one to beat at the moment right now. She is beautiful, poised, knows how to deliver. And in the first part of that song, she's like, da 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 da, boom, da 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 da, boom, da 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 da, boom. She knows she has musicality. She understands rhythm and beat because she knew how to get things for emphasis. And the dramatic one that everyone really noticed was the jacket.
Yes.
That, it comes off right at the right time and she throws it to the side. And I was like,
yes,
this bitch,
yes.
she's she's paying attention and stuff, and knows how to emphasize. So, yeah. So that lip sync in particular, I wanted to make sure I get snaps for because I was like, the first 6 were good, but this one was a legit lip sync. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to hopefully more like that. Eye rolls. David.
So, we talked about this earlier today, but this is my eye rolls for this episode. Where are they at? Where are the other queens at? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, what is happening? Because I am confused. I am confusion. I don't know where they went. Like, they didn't fall down a hole. Like, they're somewhere, but they were not mentioned other than like them having a conversation with Elliot about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really the only time they're really mentioned. I mean, and I type like Katie kind of talks about it that they're probably coming back, which I mean is fair, but like until we get to like the preview for the next episode, we ain't seen them since the beginning. Mm-hmm. And we've now gone through, it's got to be at least a day or two in regards to the filming of this episode, because they've had to do the, they had to write and record the audio, do the choreography, and then the next day they come in and do the run, the day, like they get painted, they do the performance, and then they do the runway. So like this had to have been 2 days. So where are the other girls at? Like, where are you hiding them? I mean, we know where they're hiding, but thank you, sweetie.
I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, the other 6 are still in holding, and boy, are they gonna be pissed when they find out what they did with Elliot. I wonder if the reason Elliot was met at the, like, the exit of the pork chop loading dock, I wonder if that was the same day. Like, if that day, like, when the 7 get sent to the dock, they have to vote, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if that was a long-ass day. Like,
it's possible.
Like, if they snatched Elliot and was like, okay, like, after she confesses to camera, like, how she's in her feels, understandably. And then they're like, okay, girl, so this is what we need you to do. We need you to turn into a boy, like, get out all your stuff, clean yourself up, blah, 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 blah. You're still in the competition. We're about to do a reveal. Do you know what I mean? And then, like, they hightail it and beat it over, and act like it's a new day when the girls come walking in. I don't know. It's a theory I have. I mean, it technically could have been a whole new day, but I don't know.
Who knows? I'm concerned. I want to know where they are, and the fact that they were not mentioned really is what I'm like most eye rolling about, because I just want to know where they at.
Right.
Where they at, Rue? Where are they?
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'm giving eye rolls to, I said, missing the assignment, ?
Mm-hmm.
So there were 2 things. Some of them for the runway fashion presentations, I was like, I don't quite know if this meets what the assignment was. And I admit, like, I'm not a big fashion person, so more importantly, I was concerned about the musical number. They were all told they had to write their own lyric about themselves. Oh, damn it. And I can't remember the way it was phrased, but I remember when I was listening to the song and I was like, I do not know if this meets what we were told. And it's difficult because what the voiceover of Rue telling them to do versus what they were actually told by production could be a little different. So I'll grant that. But I didn't feel like they were all doing the right thing with their lyrics, per se, for that number. I mean, they were supposed to introduce themselves, but I there was something about it. And I went, yeah. And, back to the runway thing, like, Rue distinctly said that the night look was basically a hooker.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many of them look like hookers? For the night look? Like, that's where I kind of was like, did you actually do the assignment right? Like, I mean, and that's difficult because some of them look really good. But I'm like, yeah, but if you're looking good, like, did you actually do the assignment right, though?
Yeah.
So,
like, the words I wrote down, excuse me, were them, too much Coke. 0. The daytime I had like woman, and then nighttime I had vampy. And then I wrote down what she said when she introduced it. And it was daytime drama and nighttime is the right time. So like but I remember that like she mentioned like the vampy kind of hooker kind of moment in the nighttime part. I do remember that specifically. Because the first one with the daytime part, it was meant to be like a daytime like woman kind of on the go, I thought was what it was supposed to be. And when, Got Mick comes out first and she's wearing that like latex like rainbow like day look, like it looks like a day.
right.
I was kind of like, that's not what I would consider daytime wear. And then I was like, okay, but she's taking it literally. Like I am literally wearing a daytime.
Right.
Like, okay. And I forget who comes out after her. Was it Candy? It might have been Candy. Whoever it was, I think it was, well, whatever. But Candy was just, what is this? Like, it doesn't look like it fits well. It doesn't look right. It's this mishmash of like all these different like ideas. I'm getting like the like the hair, kind of that Victorian like wig vibe, but then she's got this like billowy like puff sleeve thing and this jewelry, and then it goes into I'm thinking pants, maybe skirt. I don't remember. It looked too much and it didn't fit at the waist too, and it's never just like look right. And it was this weird ass like reddy crimson color that just doesn't look good on her. And I was like, what's going on? The one I actually liked is the one that everyone hated, which was one of the ones I liked. I like Lala Reese. Because that to me was what I was expecting with like daytime drama. I was expecting this like big, like this woman kind of like moment, like daytime drama kind of thing. And she had the long braided wig, and the big like big skirt dress that, granted it needed a lining, but whatever. Like it worked. It worked for me and I liked it. So I don't know. Maybe they did not interpret the assignment or understand the assignment, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Any other thoughts before we close out the show?
Where are they?
They're coming. We know that next week's episode is about the other 6. I don't know, because they haven't teased it yet. I don't know if the other 6 like get to meet the other 7 in the episode, or if that'll be like the cliffhanger for episode 4. That like they're gonna start integrating them together. Because I will say that Smashy in our chat group kind of commented about keeping them separate. And, I've wondered if like that was a COVID precaution in the beginning because there's so many in the cast. If they're like trying to keep the numbers smaller or whatever. But also, to be fair, technically for the entire production, everyone should have been in a bubble. So that means that the entire cast, the judges and the production crew would all be like isolated So if it's a filming day and stuff, like they're all there, but then if they're not filming and stuff, like everybody is in lockdown and restricted, like they don't get to go anywhere. So like the girls go back to the hotel.
Yeah, the girls are pretty much like always on lockdown. We know that for a fact.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if Rue and the judges and like the crew are all being kept at a hotel or something as well. Like, and everybody gets tested daily. Like Trixie made me laugh recently how she was talking about how she's been very busy recently, sort of in real time. And she was talking about how she had like a bunch of gigs coming up, and for every single one of them, she had to be tested. And she was like, Mama, I got swabbed 3 times in one day by 3 different nurses. Like, come into my house, leave. She was just like,
yeah.
So I'm thinking that was on the regular as well. Like everyone's wearing masks and face shields and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they were getting tested on the daily, the entire time for production.
Got Mick recently put out a video of her doing her entrance look makeup. Like it's one of the first that she has done on YouTube. And she mentions that they were tested as soon as they arrived, and when they arrived on stage, and she kind of briefly goes over like that fact that they were testing at least. Now she doesn't say that they got tested every day, but she does mention that they were all like wearing masks and everyone was safe and all that stuff. So I'm assuming that World of Wonder was taking heavy precautions in relation to the COVID pandemic, I should say.
The behind the scenes I'm intrigued by for this season specifically to see how it all works. So maybe we'll get some other content online or something.
Yeah, because we do know they're not doing the normal right backstage untucked moments. They go back to the workroom essentially.
Right. They expanded the size of the workroom, I think. I think part of that was because, so at the time of filming, it was during the first half of the pandemic this past year, I believe, and the pandemic was still kind of new. So I think part of the reason why the workroom got expanded as well as the main stage and the judges panel was because they were trying to give space and distance between everybody. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if California required X number of square feet for X number of people.
Yeah.
Like, so if the workroom has this many people in it, like this space, these like walls or whatever and stuff, like you have to have this much square footage. Same thing with the stage and that kind of stuff. So I'll be curious to see whether or not at the end of episode 3, if we find out that they're going to start integrating them or if they're going to keep them separated a little bit longer. And if they do, I also wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a long season. Like, so if COVID and everything kind of extends the season, like instead of 13 episodes, it might be like 17 or something. Like it stretches it out further because of all the stuff they're trying to do.
So good. Like, thank you, Wikipedia. The last season, it mentions in the very top for season 13, the season was filmed in August 2020.
Oh, okay.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, and was filmed under the appropriate protocols, including immediate testing of the 13 contestants. Furthermore, all the contestants, judges, and crew were isolated and quarantined during filming.
Yeah, I figured that's what they were doing because that's what Hollywood is basically converted to. A lot of the podcasts and stuff I watch online about the entertainment industry, like when you're in production, like movies are still being made, television's still being shot. It just shut down for like 4 months because nobody was quite sure what the landscape was going to be like. But then quickly they learned to pivot and they were like, okay, we're going to make a full film production. Everybody arrives to the location. Everybody goes on lockdown for 14 days. Nobody does jack shit for 2 weeks. And then at the end of 2 weeks, we know that everybody's safe because nobody's breaching like isolation.
Yeah.
And then everybody theoretically can be safer and go more of the time without a mask on. Blah, blah, blah. So to what you just read makes sense to me. Like that, I don't think that's exactly what they did for Drag Race, but it's very similar. Like that they were trying to get all the stuff, lined up appropriately to be ready.
And it, kind of makes sense right now that Jamal Sims was one of the first guest judges. Even though they choreographed, he didn't do the choreography. It's probably because they were just kind of wrapping up the live show in Vegas that he was a part of with Rue. So he's already around. No offense, this sounds bad, but right. He's kind of there. So, boop. Why don't you just come on real quick and do the first episode that we need a guest judge on, because Carson wasn't there. Or it could be one of those ones where they're going to start like they did last year, where they swap out Carson. Not last year. One of the seasons, it was Ross or Carson. It was almost always never both each time.
I think it's been a couple of seasons now they've been doing that.
Yeah.
Ever since they made Ross permanent, I think they've been rotating between him and Carson, which I'm perfectly fine with. Oh, and I do, real quick before we wrap, I do want to give a shout out to Michelle. I am liking the hair stripe, although I'm sure there are a lot of critics saying that she stole it from Manila. Girl, please. Manila wasn't the first. Y'all get calmed down. And she already, so far, seems nicer. Now, there's been a theory that ever since RuPaul did the UK edition, that everyone's going to lighten the fuck up. Because a lot of feedback I heard from the UK version was that Michelle and Ru kikied every God blessed episode. And people who watched it were like, where the hell have these two been? Because in the US version, they're much more critical. And so we saw a little bit of that. I noticed on the judges panel, some discussion, the poppers joke, Tina Burner, gets a really good feedback criticism from Michelle and says, this is not the club. This is not theater. This is television. So you got to pay attention to how you project and where you look. She didn't outright say it, but it's like, girl, where's your eye line? And she said, the camera is your lover. That's who you want to be paying attention to. And of course, Tina's she's like, oh, okay. She's like, I'll get some poppers. We could play that,
Yeah.
And I love how Ru says, actually, that's some really good advice for all the queens, for the whole cast. And of course, God bless Ross. He's like, poppers? And Ru's like, yes, poppers. It was such a good, little banter moment. And I was like, oh, good. So I don't know for certain, I think Michelle's growing her color out. I think for the season when it was recorded, she kept her hair dyed, and decided to go with the stripe thing. So I don't know if the stripe is natural. I'm thinking it might be. I think it might be a little enhanced. But I saw a recent picture of her, and I was like, Are we growing our hair out, girl? Are we going to go more towards our natural color, or I don't know. We'll see. So more mysteries.
See.
So speaking of mysteries, if you need to get in touch with us, it's not a secret. There's several ways you could do it. You can go to cubsoutloud.com. Go to our website. You can send an email to cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You can leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to play it on the show. Or if you tell us not to, we won't. And you can call us at 361-COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. You can find us pretty much anywhere online as a social media outlet. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Just type in Cubs Out Loud as one word. If you would like to join our chat, you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram. That's TELEGRAM-COLDR and join the chat on there. In about 16 minutes, the moratorium is lifted for the people that are in there to start talking about the episode. We're just trying to give people a buffer so they have a chance to watch it. without spoiling anything for the rest. If you would like to know when we're going to be recording our regular show season for when we're live, you can go to tinyurl.com/calendar-col. If you want to support us, you can go to zazzle.com/cubsoutloud. You get a lovely shirt, kind of like the one that I'm wearing, that says "Consent is my foreplay." This is the drag queen, kind of pride logo, and then Damon has our COLDR logo that's modified with the crown, and it says Drag Race on it in pink and all that jazz.
Gosh, I can't even tell if it goes all the way up. I don't want to show my belly. There we go. There's the Drag Race. There you go. You can kind of see it now.
So, yeah, you could go there and get one of those things. If you would like to help us support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/cubsoutloud for just the minimal reward benefit level is $1 per month, and you get access to the longer versions, the uncut versions of our episodes, if you will. You get what's pre-show and post-show as opposed to what gets posted live. That gets recorded and put out there. That is just more the concise, so you get to hear some of the behind the scenes and the other kiki. You can also, if you just want to make a one-time donation, you go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud. Just throw a couple bucks our way, kind of like a tip jar. If you want to promote us, we would appreciate it. You can go to iTunes. You can give us a 5-star rating because we're worth it, and a lovely comment, or anywhere that you can pretty much find a podcast you can download there. And this Cubs Out Loud Drag Race, for those of you that don't know, is its own separate RSS feed for podcasts. So if you just want to know about like drag for the main seasons and the All-Stars, you can subscribe to this.
The main seasons and the All-Stars of the U.S. version of Drag Race.
Yes, exclusively. It's kind of where we're drawing the line. There's enough Paul Drag Race podcasts out there in the world. So, that being said, David, where can they find you if they want to get in touch?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as TheaterCub79 on most bear-related sites are on Facebook. Or you can find me as pup_Umbra on Twitter. It is a wealthy blend of not safe for work content, drag race, drag, anime, and etc. and porn. So,
right,
yeah.
If you would like to follow me online, I have a couple different profiles on Twitter, specifically when it comes to drag. It's GareBear73 Drag, so it's GARBEAR 73 DRAG, where I follow pretty much the Rue girls and some non-Rue girls to know what's happening. Damon kind of knows when I spot things because I will forward or share them with him exclusively and be like, "Girl, check this out."
Look at that shit.
I know. Fun little things that I find. So with that, we're going to wrap up, and then we will see you in another week for episode number 3.
3. Bye.
Not too bad.
No, not bad at all. Second half was 30-something minutes. That's pretty good. Go us. Yay us. It'll probably be maybe an hour or so episode. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?